Hello, everybody. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, Japanese. I have a section of English language arts this year, and over the summer I teach Wannick Summer Health out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Please connect with me at any of these places. I would like to talk about my crazy ideas. Minecraft Teachers Lounge, the Minecraft Education Ambassadors, RockSem, the Duolingo Educators Network, Teacher Excellence Lounge, or the World Language Teacher Lounge, Wayground Game Changers, and today I'm going to talk specifically about art in Spanish class and this great idea that I got by hanging around there. So, this is art in Spanish class hosted by Llearning Llama, and I first connected with Courtney. Let's see, I always go to the practical and comprehensible conferences, which are really great, and I've seen her there many a time. She's always so inspiring to me. But the most recent one, we really connected because we were both presenting. And her name's Courtney, and she's all over the place. So search for Llearning Llama with 2 L's. And one of the things that she does in the Art in Spanish class group is she gives us these really adorable little books that she's made about different artists, like each month. Just it would be focusing on an artist and the famous works of that artist. And I haven't heard of a lot of these people, so this is really great for me. She's got some ideas for classroom lessons and stuff, and a little biography of him. And so let me show you what I did during October. So I take the little booklets that Llearning Llama gives us, and I make them into a kind of a glad type big book. Very simple language. I only teach Spanish 1. So my language has to be very simple. And, when I gave this lecture, it was October, so it was only the second month of school. So there's no way I'm doing past tense. It's all present tense and very, very simple as I can make it, okay? So this activity was about Pedro Linares and Alebrijes. And so I started the kids off by talking about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because I don't know about you, but for me, growing up, I always thought Rudolph had been around since time immemorial. Maybe he came around like the whole reindeer stuff and Rudolph at the front. That must have been from, at least the 1600s, right? No, Rudolph started in 1939 and actually started in a department store trying to make more money by getting more people in. So they made up this little story. So I start them with that because I think that's a pretty good comparison. And then Llearning Llama, of course, has made this really nice little book, far better than I could have made it. So I'll use that as the basis. And here's the biography that she gave us for that. Okay, but then I wanted to put it in this glad big book style, right? So again, language is very simple, because this is the second month of school, okay? It's Pedro Linares got sick, and he had his fever dreams, right? And when he woke up, he started making, he started drawing the crazy creatures that he saw in his fever dream, and he started sculpting them. Okay, and now Alebrijes are all over the place. They are so ubiquitous. And this whole part I do in Spanish. There's no English in this part, but just in case you're not a Spanish teacher, you got to understand this. All right. So there's 2 videos that Llearning Llama gave us, and I linked them here. I click here, see the little thing. This is Active Inspire, and so I can get right to the video, and I'll put them in the description of this video if you want to get to them. But they're just about people making alebrijes. I can do a little film talk about it. Okay, so then I give my students 3 dice. Sorry, that's plural. 3 dice. All right. One is just a regular number dice that you would see anywhere. Okay, and so the students are going to use that one twice. They're going to roll for the numbers that are on it, but also each die has a number on it, and we go over the words to make sure that they know what they mean, and they like it when I make the monkey noises here. But the other ones, I tried to choose cognates that the students would recognize. Of course, they know gato and perro at this point, but the other ones are cognates except for monkey, because I thought a monkey would be kind of fun. But then I went to the shop class with a piece of wood, several pieces of wood. And okay, the shop students didn't quite cut them in squares. They're kind of in rectangles, you can see, but that's fine. And then I made a bunch of dice for lots of different games. All right, so this one, I took 15 of the dice and I just colored them in with Sharpies, made solid colors on the sides. Okay, and this one I used Sharpies and I did body parts. And I'm not the best artist in the world. I haven't had practice like everybody else. I am a linguist, so, but I think I did pretty well drawing on all the sides. And I only did 15 because at the time I was only having 30 students per class. Now I've got like 39 students per class. So I figured I'd put them in groups of two. So in a class, since I've only have 15, no, I made 16 just in case I ever had 32. So a couple of the groups had to be 3 people big, but most of the groups are only 2 people big, and that's all I want because I don't want anyone coasting. I want everyone speaking. So they would roll the dice and they had to talk to each other about what they got. So here's the number die right here. Okay, so they roll that and they say what animal they got first of all, and then they roll it for the number, and then they roll a color and a body part. Okay, and then they can start designing their alebrije, and they've got to talk to each other. And it's okay if the alebrije doesn't turn out to be the same. I just want them talking to each other, and I want them knowing what their body parts are. I want them knowing their numbers to 6, and I want them knowing their colors. That's my minimal. Okay, and you can see here on the desk, it's getting a little crowded at this point. I've got 6 students per table group, and in the middle of the desk, everyone has to have their interactive notebook. We're using interactive notebooks this year. I bought these adorable little garbage cans at the dollar store so that when we cut out our little flippy books, they can put the trash right there instead of throwing it on the floor. And every table group has a bunch of colored pencils because we do a lot of art games. Okay, so then I give the students a sentence frame. They have to say the alebrije has number, color, body part. And at this point, they were just learning to conjugate tener. I thought I could leave that out and force them to conjugate it, or I could just get them used to the conjugation because I want them to use it 100 million times. So I decided I was going to give it to them. We have other games where I make sure that they know that tiene matches a singular third person subject, whatever. Okay. And I wanted them to at least write 4 sentences, but a lot of them had more fun. So they did more than that. Okay. And they had a blast. So these are just some of the stuff they came up with. And, you don't have to see all my kids' stuff, but it was pretty fun. It was pretty darn fun. Here's a good one. Here's another interesting one. The artistic students really go to town with this. So, yep. So we had a lot of fun with it. Again, I'm Madame Sensei. Connect with me someplace. Help me make up my crazy games. I love to bounce ideas off of people. Hope to see you there.